We're happy to welcome a couple of guests from Bernalillo County. With us today is the chair of the Bernalillo County Commission, Maggie Hart Stebbins is with us. Maggie,
good morning, Larry.
How are you?
Good morning.
Good
Thanks
to have
for being
you.
here.
And Randy Trask is here. Randy is director of the Trade Alliance for Bernalillo County. And in fact, Randy helped organize an Albuquerque chamber trip to China that we went on, was it 2008?
Oh, wow.
196 people.
Oh my
That
God.
thing was awesome. So, and you're back in Asia again. Have you noticed that?
That's true. That's where the trend is.
The action is.
Yeah, so a month ago, you guys were in Taiwan on a trade mission trying to drum up a little business for our city and state.
That's right. So the Albuquerque, it's actually the Albuquerque-Bernalillo County Trade Alliance. And so we have this great partnership with the city of Albuquerque where we work together to try to build business overseas for our local businesses.
Sure.
And so that started with the trade mission to Mexico, then to Israel, and then I got to lead the trade mission to Taiwan,
Wow.
which was just amazing.
Sounds like a great trip.
It was. I guess I had never had the opportunity to visit Taiwan before. I was just amazed, number one, by just what a beautiful country it is, and secondly, by the great infrastructure they have there. And I think both in terms of what they do for their businesses and what they do for the community is really pretty remarkable, and I think a really good model for what we might start thinking about doing here.
Were they receptive? Did they welcome you with open arms? And
They welcomed us most graciously with open arms, and we had some great visits. Randy can talk about the business-to-business visits. I was privileged to do the government-to-government visits, and we met with different members from their foreign affairs division, from their overseas trade division, and again, they were very interested in what New Mexico has to offer. And I think that was really the goal of our trip, is to begin to develop those relationships, so we know what they have to offer our employers, and they know what we have to offer.
Yeah, and just all about helping each other to improve. So can you tell us a little bit about some of the businesses that you met with?
Sure. Well, we had 3 companies go with us. One company in particular you might have heard of before. It's called Lavu, POS Lavu. And they were looking for distributors for their point-of-sale restaurant system. And we arranged meetings for them not only in Taiwan, but also in Hong Kong.
Wow.
We were also there during Semicon, which is a semiconductor trade show. And so we had a company that was interested in finding customers there. So the companies are thrilled because we open doors for them in those places. And with an elected official, it gives us the credibility of a government delegation.
Yeah.
So obviously there were some tangible results from this then, because these 3 businesses saw benefit right away. And on the government side, what did you find as a result?
I think, again, one of the purposes of doing these trips is to raise New Mexico's profile, to raise Albuquerque and Bernalillo County's profile. And I think in a lot of these countries, doing business is very much relationship based. And so just to begin to lay that foundation so that they know what we have and we know what they have. And what I always talk about when I visit, when I'm talking about why New Mexico is so special, why Albuquerque and Bernalillo County stands out, is really the intellectual resources we have here. So the federal research, what we have at Sandia, Kirtland, at the University of New Mexico, and I think that's where they really tune in, because I think we're sort of under the radar. But it's very clear that the world still looks to the United States for creativity, for ingenuity, for innovation, and we have that here. And I think that's where we can go out and say, this is why you might want to locate your business here, because you can access in different ways these amazing intellectual resources. And they were very responsive to that. I mean, Randy was able to talk about the Center for Integrated Technology, the Smart Grid project that have been going on here. And they, really focus on that, and I think they see opportunity here.
And are y'all finding that certain businesses are more interested in doing business here in New Mexico?
Some businesses are interested because of our proximity to Mexico. So there's a lot of opportunity there for distribution into this part of the country, as well as into Mexico. But the high-tech sector, particularly renewable energy, is probably where we see the most interest from foreign companies.
We have a few photos from the visit that we want to put up on the screen. I want you to describe what we're looking at here.
Sure.
I think the first one is just a landscape of Taipei. Is that that's the capital city, right? Is that
That's
where
right.
we are?
That's one corner of Taipei 101, which used to be the largest building in the world until they built a taller one in Dubai. But that's one small corner. If you were to walk around the entire top of the building, it would look like that in all 360 degrees. So
Oh my gosh.
Beautiful view.
it's pretty impressive.
All right.
I'll let the commissioner talk about this. This is a meeting with DST.
Very interesting. So this group is doing business on the Navajo reservation. So they're manufacturing their solar modules there, and then selling power. And actually generating power there. And so they wanted to talk with us about additional opportunities that they have. They found that their experience with the Navajo reservation has been very positive, and looking at the rest of New Mexico as for more opportunities. So they're very excited about what they found here and looking for opportunities for growth.
And obviously we're exchanging gifts here, which is part of the protocol, right? And this is very nice. Well, way to represent the county and the city. That was nice.
Well, it was wonderful. And then another part of our trip, we did spend a couple days in Hualien, which is Albuquerque's sister city. And sort of getting to know that community. They were most gracious. They took us out to dinner. They really spent the whole 48 hours with us. They even arranged for a special parade that Randy and I got to hand out candy and
Expecting that, were you?
Wow, that is so cool.
in the rain, no less. But it was, they are actually, on Thursday, we're going to welcome a delegation from Hualien because one of their economic development projects is a balloon fiesta modeled after what we have here. So they're coming in to take a look at what, how we do that here. And also, I believe that's going to create opportunities for some of our local balloonists and pilots because they do need our expertise to make their projects succeed. So I'm pretty excited about that.
It sounds like a great collaboration. You guys are working on not only this, but many different businesses.
So
The question for each of you to answer this. So what was the biggest surprise that you didn't see coming as a result of the trip? Randy, you want to?
a lot of people think of Taiwan as an extension of China in a lot of ways. They share the same language, a lot of similar culture. But Taiwan is a developed country. And so for folks that are looking at China, the China mainland, going through Taiwan, I mean, that's really the gateway. And I think it's a much easier place to do business than mainland China.
What surprised you the most, Maggie?
I think what surprised me was the level of investment that the Taiwanese government makes in its businesses. So we visited the Hsinchu Science and Tech Park. We visited an institution called eTree, where they have invested literally billions of dollars in helping their high-tech sector succeed. So if you have an idea in Taiwan, you can reach out to these institutions. There's funding, there's coaching, there's wet lab space. There is everything you need to develop to bring that product, that idea, to market. And I know that's what we're talking about here in New Mexico. The University of New Mexico, the city and the county are talking about this partnership on Innovation Square. They have a fully developed model. And so I was just blown away. eTree's budget every year, $500 million.
A lot of money.
It's a lot of money. And so it gives us a sense of what we're competing against and what we need to do to stay competitive in the global market.
Wow. So do y'all have any future other trips planned or any future collaborations?
Yeah, the next trip is going to be to Brazil in the spring.
She just went.
All right.
Part of the UNM Anderson School.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, it's awesome. So.
Yeah.
And so that one will be focused around infrastructure. Obviously, Brazil's building up towards the next Olympics, and so there's a lot of requirements there. So also aviation and aerospace are big industry sectors for Brazil. So any companies that are interested in participating in those sectors are welcome to come with us.
Wow. There's some big rising transportation, air growing their goal. You might want to meet with them.
It's all about networking.
Yes.
There we go.
We'll talk later.
Yeah, they had a very successful. How many were on your trip?
We had about 24 people in attendance, so young
Wow.
professionals.
That's awesome.
From the Anderson School.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's reaching out around the world here from little old New Mexico.
You gotta
and that's
do
a
it.
very, very good thing. This is interesting. I've never talked to any officials about the trade missions, and I think it did yield some results, and it looks like it's very favorable for us, and we appreciate you doing that.